Earlier this year, I came down in my garden to assess what's going on, and so that I could have an idea of what I need to plant a lot more of and what I need to improve on. And what I noticed with that is that my moringa's barks are peeling off. So I started touching it and tasting it. I mean, no, not tasting, testing it, and realized that they are rotting. And I shook some of the branches off and realized that they're rotten, they're light, and one literally just broke off as I shook it like this. It just literally broke off. That's how rotten branch the branch was. And so, as you can see, that's how all of my moringas were looking this year. I was about considering to order seeds when Bob, a good friend of mine from YouTube, made a video and show how much moringa he's got. He's got so much moringa seeds which were given to him as gift from very good YouTube friends. I asked him for help and asked if I could get some of his seeds in return for whatever he might find interesting in my garden. So needless to say, Bob came to the rescue, sent me some seeds, and I will show you a shot of that. But while he was considering all of that, waiting for a chance to be able to go to the post office to send me some seeds, this is what my husband told me. He came and gave me a good news. Right there. He told me, you should come and see what's going on in the garden. And there it is. Right at the base of this moringa, you can see new growth. You see that? Right at the very, very bottom part of this tree was moringa sprout. New sprout coming out. And if I go on the other side, you can see that it's doing the same thing right there. New moringa shoots, and there's another new sprout coming out right there. If you look carefully there, trying to focus it, and you can see new sprout coming out right at the base of this moringa plant. So, you know, you would wonder why they call it miracle tree. I mean, in my mind, when I make assessment and saw what's happening to all my moringas, to me they were dead, just like as I showed you. They were like this, rotting. Pardon me, while I wait for my camera to focus. And they were just like that. Dead branches, barks are peeling off, no sign of life. But then, after about a week or so more, this is what happened. New shoots coming up, and I will show you the rest of the moringa. Well, I believe there's at least one or two that had not come back up, but for the most part, moringas is starting to sprout again. I was just touched by the care and generosity that my good friend Bob showed by sending these seeds to me as soon as he can. Considering the situation that we are in, he dare and brave going to the post office just to send me this. Thank you so much. With all my heart, I thank you, Bob and Mel, for your gifts. And I will go ahead and show you the rest of my moringa that are starting to pick up. And by the way, I went ahead and planted some of the seeds, and they're starting to germinate, and I will give you an update of that, because I will make sure that I have moringa growing all over this this land. I mean, if I could plant at least 1 acre of these lands we have here with moringa, I probably will, just to ensure that I have moringa. Why do you think I'm so concerned about moringas? For some of you, most of you are very aware of the great benefit of the moringa plant or the moringa leaves. Please do your own research, because as you know, Joe is not a very articulate person, and I don't want to overstate or understate the fact regarding this plant. All I could tell you is I consider this plant as vitamin plant. That is because this is the only plant that have been researched and found to contain, I believe, just about all of the vitamins you could desire from one plant. It contains lots of vitamins, antioxidants, and minerals that you could desire from any one plant. Okay, so because most of this bark here, or the trunk of this moringa, is dead, we are going to cut it back, as far down as we can without hurting the new growth. So my husband is just gonna cut it at that point. So this is what we have to do with our moringa to kind of, maintain it and just reinvigorate it. And as you can see, you see the discoloration there? That moringa trunk there is partially green and partially dying. See, the brown side is where it's the bark or the skin is literally peeling off, and on this side you might notice that it's kind of tight. See, the bark is looking kind of tight, but on the other side, I will show you if I could. There you go. Anyway, you can see from here. Oops, sorry, I lost focus. You can see how the bark or the skin is peeling off and it's drying up already. It's already drying up. And the same on this one here. That's one moringa that's split into 2 branches, and you can see that you see how this side the skin is peeling off, and on this side you can see that it's nice and tight. So the root is alive, and it will sustain this tree one more time. It will come up for me, and we will try our best to take good care of it. And meanwhile, I am happy that I have this thing to start with. As you know, I came across some health issues in which I am still in the healing process, and hopefully I'm not completely, I have to tell you that I am not completely out of the woods, so to speak, when it comes to my health. I am still under medication, and I'm trying my very best to eat as healthy as I can. And moringa is something I'd like to add into my diet on a more regular basis. That's probably one of the reasons why I'm a bit panicky this year, when I thought that I'd lost all of my moringa plants. And thank God to Bob. He is such a good friend. He took away my worries, and God is good. He let my plant come back to me, and there I have all of my moringa. I mean, not all. Some of them, I believe at least 2 or 3 of them, I have not seen any new growth, but for the most part they're coming back and growing. And the seeds that Bob sent me, I have planted quite a good amount of it already. Some are actually starting to germinate. Okay, so like I said, I might just go ahead and plant moringa, at least one acre of this land. Okay, I will try not to cover the entire acre of moringa, but I will plant it here and there to make sure that I have something reserved, as well as inside my greenhouse. That is a definite. I will be planting some moringa in my greenhouse to make sure that one good thing about planting it in a greenhouse is that I can harvest moringa in a greenhouse. As long as it stays nice and warm, it will keep on growing. So that is the plan as far as my moringa. Okay, so here are the other moringa, which is located in near my poultry. And my husband is just trying to cut some of the dried up stems, dried up branches. But as you can see, it sprouted back. There goes another one back there. That's a moringa. Thank you very much, man. That's a loud rooster. And as you can see, it sprouted all the way from the base. And here's another moringa, looking really nice right there. As you can see, all this moringa came back and sprouted from the very base of the tree, as you can see. And my husband been cutting them so that we could get rid of the dead branches and give more room and invigorate the new growth. Okay, so moringas are miraculously coming back to life. Oh wow, that is almost completely dead there. But like I said, the root is alive, and so you can see that the new shoots of moringa are coming all the way from the bottom or the base of the tree. Okay, and this one definitely I can show you that is almost all the way at where the soil level is. That's where the sprout or the new growth is coming from, right there. Okay, because there you go, see, it's almost soil level. But that is because this year we had such cold and wet weather, which is not conducive for, I imagine, for moringa. And because blueberry is very well adapted to this season, but if we lost one of the blueberry because of too much water. It was actually sitting on the water. I'm not surprised that the moringa plants, which are tropical plants, will suffer even more. And as you can see, this year we have to cut it this low, almost close to the soil level. That's where the new growth is coming from, as you can see, all the way at the bottom.